If you have bad credit or no credit, you really are marginalized in this country. Even hospital bills can ruin your credit. These are issues that we need to, as consumers, collectively look at. And as I said, at the end of this program, we're going to put on some information from TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax and how to order your credit report. Now, there are places out there, and I've talked to Mr. Holbein, an expert on credit card reporting and credit bureau reporting and credit scores, and he's indicated some of these quote-unquote free sites where you can get a free credit report often are not accurate. He's also told me that many times you can't just take your credit reporting score as gospel, because many things, as we've talked about, such as cutting down your debt, updating your credit cards, removing the negative information, can dramatically change your score from a D- maybe to a B+. And these are facts. We want everyone to know out there that as consumers, you have rights. The purpose of South Texas Crossfire is just to let people know that they have rights that they can assert. Oftentimes, and in the last 10 years, people have become almost, enduring a sense of powerlessness. Big companies are taking over. I don't have a voice. There's too much red tape and bureaucracy. I don't know what to do. The courthouse doors are closing. And that's why that here at South Texas Crossfire, myself along with Mr. Reina always try to convey that yes, you do have a voice, and yes, you do have the power. And I tell you, it's in the almighty vote, and it's in picking up the phone and calling your representative, your congressman, your senator, be it state or federal, and picking it up and saying, you know what, I'm sick and tired of it, and I'm not going to take it anymore. And that's what we need to know, that we have rights. Day in and day out, the people that are in charge owe a duty to us, not to special interest groups. Many of these corporations or big business, or I like to call them the Greek gods in this tragedy, that don't listen to us, that don't listen to us mortals, they will listen, and the only way they can listen is sometimes in the courthouse. All too often nowadays, the average special interest group, such as Citizens Against Lawsuit Abuse, overlook the fact that they are basically tearing up the Constitution. They're tearing up the Constitution, and I'll tell you how. By denying people their 7th Amendment right to trial by jury in any controversy over $20. The Founding Fathers were not just lawyers, they were businessmen, they were farmers, they were educators, and they signed that declaration, and there was a reason that they put that on there, because they didn't have those rights. We have the greatest, in my estimation, judicial system in the land. In our show, we bring on judges, we bring on politicians, we bring up issues that no one else wants to bring out because it's not politically correct. Well, I say it is, and I say it's time that people stand up for their rights, for their beliefs, and that they, as consumers, say, I'm in charge again. This is my country. I embrace the Constitution, and it was made by the people, for the people. It's not by the people, for the corporations. And I want you to remember that. We've got a few minutes left in our show, and I just want to highlight what we've been talking about. And that's credit card, how to put yourself, and I call it credit card self-defense. And I'll tell you how. Get your credit report score. Look it over with a fine-tooth comb. When you find inconsistencies, complain about it. Call up that credit card bureau, and it'll have their number on there, the 1-800 number, and say this report is wrong. Call up your individual creditors who reported you falsely over there and tell them, hey, there is something wrong with my credit report. It is inaccurate and it needs changes. Underline that fact. Let them know, because you're in control. The other issue that you need is sometimes you need some people like Tommy Holbein at at ImpactCreditGroupUSA.com. That's ImpactCreditGroupUSA.com. Contact Mr. Holbein or a professional like him. Many of these, and I like to, lovingly call them credit card doctors, look into it, and they don't. And the good ones like Mr. Holbein don't guarantee that they're going to make a huge impact, but they're certainly going to benefit your credit card score. Many of us don't know the credit card score, a really good one. It goes up from 400, which is an F, all the way to 800, 900 plus. And those people that have a great credit card score or a credit rating get instant credit. I mean, they have instant credibility with buying a home, a car. But most of us are in the middle, right in the middle of the pack, and have made a few late payments or have encountered financial troubles. And that's okay. But the thing is to minimize that. Put your side of the story on that credit report. Let them know that you've made a mistake, but that you've made reparations for it, or that it's too old, it needs to come off. It needs to come off. So remember that we need to look at our credit card score. And the other thing is self-defense. Watch yourself. Don't overload with credit cards. Don't get credit card heavy in debt. And if you are in debt, think about perhaps getting a loan to pay all of them. I would watch out with interest rates. Credit card switching, there are a lot of issues there if you switch over and you're not careful. The time in which you have that 0% to switch over or low rate may expire, or a lot of people miss a payment and then they go back in the same mess they were. So be careful with that. We want to underline that fact. We want to underline that fact that you as consumers should know all this. And when we get done with this program, hopefully people have walked away with a little bit more understanding of what is going on. But also remember that the underlying theme in South Texas Crossfire that we're proud to underline and emphasize for people is that you have the right to those courthouse doors. You know, for too long, lawyers have been slammed, insulted, trampled on. The Constitution has been torn apart, that lawsuits are an evil thing and that it costs jobs. You know what costs jobs? When we let corporations and insurance companies run rampant. When we pay what someone makes in a mid-sized third world country a month just to have health insurance, we got a problem. We got a big problem. And we have to rein in these corporations, these healthcare insurance people. We've got to rein in big business, and we've got to let them know who's in charge. And also exercise your right, participate in the jury system. Let people know that you're not going to take it anymore. And pick up that phone. Find out. I recommend you get on this website if you are on. That's www.profitsoverpeople.org, or, oh, my mistake, peopleoverprofits.org. That's www.peopleoverprofits.org. There you're going to get on, you're going to click on, and there's a map. You click on your state, you find out where your representative is, what's their phone number, what's their address, and you get on there and you let them know what your thoughts and concerns are. That's peopleoverprofits.org. We've got about half a minute left before we sign off, and I just want to say thank you so much for your support. We're getting overwhelming support, emails, thank you, input in our show. And we're taking it on the World Wide Web because we think this is a very important show. This is a very important topic. And consumers are what drive the economy here. The American citizens are who are in charge. And remember, contact the lawyer of your choice. This show, it does not constitute legal advice, and we are just trying to create awareness of your rights. This is Joe Flores signing off for South Texas Crossfire. www.floreslawfirm.com. That's www.floreslawfirm.com. 1-888-259-5721. That's 1-888-259-5721. Thank you, and God bless.